Hi, Maps. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thanks. And you?
I'm good. Today you're wearing your creator hat. How is it going? Well, this is a hat you wear often, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hat I do wear often. A lot of the times, whenever you see that is out there that I work on, be it with brands or be it by myself, I'm always kind of behind the ideation of it. I'm really lucky to be able to be a part of the collaborative creation process with the brands as well. And so for me, it's like it's quite cool to always have that element because it keeps it authentic and it keeps it fresh, and I get to be a part of things that I actually enjoy as well and that I feel would do very well and resonate with people.
So would you call yourself an influencer?
I would never call myself that.
Ooh.
Just not that person at all. And I think from a point of view that, firstly, I've been around a whole lot longer before being an influencer ever existed, and so I think perhaps if anything, a person of influence and happen to be influential because of the work I've done over the years, having started on television and all things around media. It's just something that's been organic, but people these days actually set out to be an influencer, and I think for me, luckily, because of the audiences that have journeyed with me over the years and people who've followed me along my journey, I've been able to take along with me, and now I've been able to be kind of, in a way, influential towards them.
That's amazing. That's profound in a way, but great. You've done some amazing work over the years. We've seen you travel to Antarctica, you're playing around with cars and homes. Tell us a little bit about your creator style.
I think for me, it's always about how do I make people. I mean, I think it's in that way like so important to be the key reason that you would want to go into kind of any creation or when it comes to travel aspect. Is how do you make people feel like they're a part of your journey, and how do you make them feel like they're there with you, and also how do you make people rethink where they want to go and travel and what maybe the ideas around that place might be, and how do you open people's minds. So I love getting to travel to places that are a lot of the time also not your common destinations. Some of my favorites, as you said, are Antarctica, Iceland.
So cold, not going there anytime
exactly.
soon.
I mean, it isn't for everyone either, but it's always just important to be able to make them feel like they're along the journey with me, and also like to show them when it isn't fun and it isn't enjoyable and it is freezing, or we've broken down and we don't know how we're going to get any assistance on this road trip or whatever it might be. But I think with all my journeys, with all my travels, it's great to show all the aspects, and I'm lucky a lot of the time that sometimes it can be a whole lot nicer, a whole lot fancier, and that's a reality of in some ways a lot of these destinations I get to work with the tourism boards, and so they want to show the best of their country at the highest level, but it's also important for me to also keep it real and realistic to my audience and make it as accessible as possible. So I think finding that balance is always important for me. So when you're relaying that story, it's important to both remember who you are, who your audience is, and if you are someone who really is excited about travel, how do you then attract them to feel like they can do it too? Or at least if they're not being able to travel, how do you allow them to jump into your world and through your stories or your posts or whatever it is, or your vlogs, so that they can feel like they're there with you, and at least for that period get them to just escape with you and make that as authentic as possible.
I love that. Bars on bars. But today here we are at a launch of something really, 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 really profound, the Africa Creator Fest, which just symbolizes the growth of the creator world in South Africa. I think now we're seeing more steps to be taken to just formalize the industry in a way so that people are protected, and things are, sometimes you need rules. Even though we want to play freely, I think we do need some, let's know what we're doing all together. So how does that, as you who started out in a time where you didn't even classify it as influencing or creating, you were just doing what you were doing?
I think I have absolutely no idea which part of the question that you may have made a question there.
Let's just
Like it was
more of a statement, but what do you feel about that statement? What does it make you think about? The growth of the creator industry.
I think now more than ever, I mean, it's growing rapidly. I mean, I see where you're going with this now. it's a whole lot easier than ever to be able to be a creator. Everyone is you know what? If you have social media to begin with and you put anything out there and you are on any platform and you generate any kind of content, you are inadvertently a creator. If you're doing so repeatedly, you know, I think you run the risk all the time of having your entire world being seen somehow. So everyone essentially is a celebrity as well. So building your personal brand around that is so important too, because whatever you put out could reach millions of people and have, you know, all sorts of different kinds of consequences or circumstances that ripple into the person that you are and can affect your life in different ways, be it positive or negative, depending on what you put out. So I think now it's about taking advantage of all the positive, and you have all these different platforms, one of the most popular being YouTube, and then of course your Instagram, to be able to show what you have to offer. And it's a whole lot easier to get to wherever you want to so much quicker. And I think that's because of that being such a well-established thing with how quickly the uptake of social media and digital divide getting, you know, smaller and smaller on the continent, with more people having access to mobile devices, everyone now can be a creator. And so we're seeing that reflect in the market, we're seeing that reflect in the industry, and we're seeing that reflect in how many people have made careers of this as a result. And I think that's a beautiful thing, you know, making that accessible. And I think it's important, and I'm glad that it's happening.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
Hi Zuki, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Today you are at the launch of the Africa Creator Festival.
Yes.
How has your experience been so far?
It's been amazing. It's been great. I even texted my friend. I said to her, I'm learning quite a lot, and I can't wait. She's a fellow influencer as well. I was like, I can't wait to impart that knowledge onto you as well.
So you've been a creator for some few years. Your lives go very viral, very viral. You're the queen of the sayings. You say everything. How has your journey been in the creator space?
It's been amazing, but I always say I don't think I'd let my child into, like, I'm not allowed, because I can't necessarily dictate what they do, but I would encourage them to do something else, because it does get a lot hectic, you know, with people saying different things about you, being, you know, being in controversial topics, and yeah, it does get hard, because sometimes you're not given a chance to perhaps explain yourself, because people decide on you through what they see on social media. They've never gotten to meet you, but they've already made assumptions and decisions about your character, about you as a person. So it does get hard, but I am enjoying it. I've gotten to understand that it comes with the package. So, yeah.
You've had a few moments of public opinion, public pause.
Yes.
How have you handled those moments of controversy?
I think I always say we're not all gonna agree on the same thing. You might not get you might not get the context of what I mean by when I say a couple of things that may be offensive to you. But yeah, I mean, for me, I always say to myself, things blow over, like it will go away, you know what I mean? And not everyone's going to agree with you. You just have to be humble enough to know that not everyone's going to be on your side.
And you're the queen of lies. How do you think of the things you say?
I don't think of them as same.
Unfiltered raw, right?
Like, those are conversations I have with my friends, and I treat my followers and people that support my content as friends. We all chomis there. So so I don't really think, like, I don't put too much thought like other people into my way of content creation. I just do it. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. What has been some fun highlights of your content creation? Is there some brands you've worked with that have really meant the world to you?
It's been amazing. My journey has been great in terms of like brand collaborations and the association with a couple of brands that are deemed, you know, household names. Like working with Spotify has been amazing. You know, working with Jamison has been great, and those are some of my highlights. Working with brands that are regarded household names, you know, in Africa and sometimes in the entire world. So yeah.
So there's this thing where there's content creators who are from Cape Town influencers, Joburg influencers. You've somehow managed to be a national influencer.
Yeah.
How would you say you did that?
Because I think I'm relatable. I think people relate a lot to my personality. They usually say I'm very unhinged. I mean, I did a Finsta this one time and my name was Zuki Unhinged. So I think I'm very like unhinged. I say what I want to say. I'm not like, I think a lot of content creators, which is something I wanted to bring up at our workshop, is that they shy away from saying a lot because it can be like received not necessarily how you meant it. So for me, I've gotten over that thing. I don't like however you want to perceive me is however you want to perceive me. I can't control how you perceive me. So yeah.
So can you tease what's next for Zuki? And can we ask, what happened to the UCT date?
It's there, but we're working on it. I mean, it's quite a huge debt, so it's not going to be easy to just like pay it out for it. But I'm working towards, I am going to end up with that degree.
Yes, girl. And what more can we expect from you, Zuki?
A lot of things. I feel like every year is just a year added into my growth as a brand. So maybe TV, maybe reality TV, maybe TV.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Hi Thobi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Today we are at the Africa Creative Festival launch. You're one of South Africa's most well-known creators, especially when it comes to travel and lifestyle. How does it feel to be at such an event?
Oh, it felt amazing just being able to speak about, travel as an amazing platform, and, you can use travel to do a lot in terms of channeling a lot of brands and actually selling yourself. But what I really liked is just being able to converse with other creators, help us grow, and being able to be on a panel with Maps was also just really insightful. He has such a global appeal, and that really helped me in terms of knowing what is the next step for brand Thobi Rose.
This just shows how the creative space in South Africa has grown. I mean, we are a bit fairly new in our digital realm, but workshops such as this show us that we can do more. What do you hope to see at the festival in June?
I really just hope to keep learning about, new things, new tech, ways that we can actually use tech, AI, ways that we can grow globally, especially on the continent. I think a lot of people on the continent are, scared to go into things like affiliate links. We don't really yet understand them. So hopefully when we are there in June, we're able to come together, connect, grow, and really just challenge ourselves in a way that's going to grow us as content creators in Africa.
The travel and lifestyle space sometimes delves into a person's own personal life. How have you managed to merge the two without stepping too much into your personal life, but still let your followers in?
So I just had a baby, which is such a big life change and shock to a lot of my followers. But I think the beauty of it is a lot of my followers, I know them, right? And a lot of them are women. A lot of them are in their 30s, young, established, working women. And what it's done, it's just it's shown me that it is possible to have a career and to be a mother. And I think for me, it just means pivoting. And with my content, I'll be able to now include a little bit of my daughter, share tips with people, be able to show people that it's still possible to travel with a family and have a great time. But for me, it's just all about the pivot, right? And being able to use my voice in a way that helps others is still important for me. Whether I have a baby or not having a baby or get married, I want my community to come on the journey with me. And I think that's why a lot of people still follow me and are on the journey with me.
Speaking of your journey and how people followed you, most people didn't even know what an influencer was or what a creative blogger, what it was. How is it now seeing that people actually understand?
It's amazing to see that people understand the work that content creators do, and a lot of the time it's downplayed. I think we are getting to a place where accommodations and brands are seeing our value, and a lot of us actually sell rooms. We're selling products and people are buying. We have communities of people that we actually know. We know how to actually migrate our followers to the things that we are loving and make them a part of our community. So I'm really excited for that, especially in South Africa. Africa. I was actually speaking to a friend, and we were speaking about, you know, just how content creation has taken a turn. It's not just being an influencer and being like, oh my word, I'm an influencer, but it's really about community building. But even being able to use that community for something greater is as important.
So you're not just a creator, you also do speaking engagements. What else do we not know that you do?
So I have a website that launched last year. I hope to make it a hub for the Thobi Rose community, being able to book your accommodations through it. We have a blog where we write about amazing think pieces. We've got tips, and obviously the affiliate links are all there on my website, so I'm able to also make an income from it. But apart from that, I really want to expand in terms of product, and how do I put the Thobi Rose brand on you guys? How are you able to carry Thobi with you on your holidays? And so that is the next step.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today, gorgeous?
Good, thank you. I hope you are too.
We are fabulous. So we are speaking to Babalwa Mcaciso, right?
Yes.
You're one of Cape Town's rising top influencers. Is that safe to say?
If you want to put it that way, yes, absolutely, I am. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey in the influencing space. And we know you are a mom, a gorgeous slayer, you're doing it all.
Thank you so much. So I started social media content creation in lockdown 2021. I started, it was 2020, no, 2020 actually, not 2021. I worked in advertising for about 6 years. I did a BA in integrated marketing communications at the AAA, and then I worked at various advertising agencies, and then when lockdown started, I opened up my own YouTube channel, and YouTube basically grew my other social media platforms such as Instagram. I grew tremendously on Instagram in a space of a year, and then I left my full-time 9-to-5 advertising job in October 2021 to pursue social media on a full-time scale, and I've never looked back ever since. My journey has been incredibly blessed. I've received so many life-changing opportunities, and yeah, that is just a summary of my story.
Such a beautiful story. So you have a background in advertising, so marketing is something that you're not it's not something new, and now we're just adding the influencer marketing into it. So how has it just been navigating, because advertising is very serious, very corporate. Now with the influencer marketing, it's fun, there's more room to navigate. How has it been getting to know that environment?
So for me, I've always wanted to get into the space of being in front of the camera. Growing up as a child, I've always known that this is what I wanted to do. So me studying advertising was studying something in the media space, but I needed to have a qualification, and education is a very, very important thing that I feel like everyone needs to prioritize. So when I matriculated, I wanted to study something that would be aligned in the media space, and then I did advertising. I absolutely loved it, and working for an advertising agency really just helped me pivot in my career, because when I receive a brief from an advertising agency in the influencer space, I'm able to sit with it and unpack it with the lens of being in the advertising space, to be able to put myself in the client's shoes, just asking the right questions of what is this client trying to achieve with this brief and with this particular campaign. I'm able to put that hat on now that I'm in the social media space and I'm the one in front of the camera, which I think does give me an advantage in my field. And yeah, I've just enjoyed being in this field, because social media, that is, because I get to manage my own time. I get to do what I absolutely love, which is playing dress up, getting my hair and makeup done, looking glamorous, attending events, socializing. I get to photograph my journey, whereas it being I'm traveling or I'm attending that particular event, and I get to share it with my audience, which is really, really what I love the most, which is creating content and taking people on wherever journey that I am at the moment.
I love that. So now this is probably really difficult because you've worked with a lot of brands and had great experiences throughout your journey. But is there anything particular that stands out and was something that you'll forever treasure in your heart?
Sure. Something that I will forever treasure in my heart is being taken by a brand to overseas, actually, to Thailand. We were taken by Thailand Tourism last year, myself and husband, and we traveled to Thailand. We got the opportunity to go to 2 different places, 2 different countries, two different cities. By mistake. We went to Thailand and we unpack it with the lens of being in the advertising space, to be able to put myself in the client's shoes, just asking the right questions of what is this client trying to achieve with this brief and with this particular campaign. I'm able to put that hat on now that I'm in the social media space and I'm the one in front of the camera, which I think does give me an advantage in my field. And yeah, I've just enjoyed being in this field because, social media that is, because I get to manage my own time. I get to do what I absolutely love, which is playing dress up, getting my hair and makeup done, looking glamorous, attending events, socializing. I get to photograph my journey, whereas it being I'm traveling or I'm attending that particular event, and I get to share it with my audience, which is really, really what I love the most, which is creating content and taking people on wherever journey that I am at the moment.
I love that. So now this is probably really difficult because you've worked with a lot of brands and had great experiences throughout your journey. But is there anything particular that stands out and was something that you'll forever treasure in your heart?
Sure. Something that I will forever treasure in my heart is being taken by a brand to overseas, actually, to Thailand. We were taken by Thailand Tourism last year, myself and husband, and we traveled to Thailand. We got the opportunity to go to 2 different places, 2 different countries, 2 different cities. By mistake. We went to Thailand and we went to 2 different cities. We went to Bangkok and then we went to a small town called Koh Samui, and we were able to take our followers with us on that journey. It was our first trip internationally as a couple, so that was something huge for us, and to be taken there with a brand that says we value you, we value your work, we value your opinion, let us pay you guys to travel and go to Thailand, and you can just tell us your experiences through your lens. And that is a memory that I will forever cherish in my heart, as well, because it was the first trip that I did with my husband abroad, and it will forever hold such a dear space in my heart.
That's so amazing. And before we let you go, today we are at the Africa Creator launch. Tell us, how is it important that we have festivals like the African Creator Festival that just give creators a platform to express themselves and learn about the industry that is really growing at a rapid pace?
Sure. I think the importance of this event in an industry that is new in the country, and because we have such a long way to go, it's very, very important, because today, like my industry colleagues and myself, it was such an eye-opening day where we were just guided, we got to learn new information about the space that we're in, and I have so much to unpack when I get home, because I today am, like, it has been so affirming to understand that I am a business, and because I'm in the space, I need to do things in a particular way, and just to have that support and to have those uncomfortable conversations, the truths about looking at you as a business owner in the digital space. I think it's so important, because as South Africa, we are quite behind in the digital space and we have such a long way to go. We need workshops like this to guide us and to hold our hands into growing in the industry, because truthfully, the sky is the limit. We just learned today that the sky's the limit, and we are the ones that are in charge of our own journeys, and we need to put in the work and put on our business caps on in how we view things and how we can capitalize the most in our respective content spaces. So I would highly encourage the founders of this event to continue doing stuff like this in Africa, because we definitely have a lot to offer to the world.